A Philly columnist wrote something so bad about Joel Embiid, his company deleted it and the dude apologized on social media, but that wasn't good enough. When Joel saw this guy, he started shouting, pushed the dude until security had to physically stop Embiid from hurting him. So what did this writer say? It's actually really ugly. I can see why Joel lost his temper, but what exactly happened in that locker room? So the writer is named Marcus Hayes. He works for a local paper called the Philadelphia Inquirer. He's not a reporter, he's a columnist. The difference is a reporter writes the news, like what happened last night. A columnist writes his opinion on the news. For example, before Skip Bayless was famous for his outrageous opinions, he was a columnist in Dallas. So Marcus Hayes, the columnist, was disgusted that Joel Embiid is out to start the season. So he wrote a piece accusing Joel of not really caring about basketball all that much. Said he doesn't want to play. If he did, he'd be out there. He's not committed to rehab or being in shape. Basically attacked Joel's character and professionalism. Then he went way too far. Full swing of the NBA season, which means I am all in on Underdog. I have loved playing Pick'em so far this year. I pick higher or lower, and believe it or not, you can up to 1000x your money in a single night by playing their new game Streaks. If you stack 11 in a row, that's right, 1000x. And look, obviously that is like the big prize, but every single time I play, I know I'm gonna have a little bit more fun watching games. So let me give you my two picks. First up is Tyrese Maxey. We're gonna go lower on his points, rebounds, and assists. And then Miles Turner, we're gonna go higher on his rebounds and assists. Make sure you get the same number that I did because these could change. And best of luck if you were telling those picks. Check out this map because Underdog is available in states like California, Texas, Florida with champions, and you have to use my promo code AMHoops because when you do that, you get a free pick, which is awesome, but also up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That is promo code AMHoops. This man actually wrote this. Joel Embiid consistently points to the birth of his son Arthur as the major inflection point in his basketball career. He often says that he wants to be great, to leave a legacy for the boy named after his little brother, who tragically died in an automobile accident when Embiid was in his first year as a 76er. Well, in order to be great at your job, you first have to show up for work. Embiid has been great at just the opposite. Now in his 11th season, he consistently has been in poor condition. Really? Bringing up his son and dead brother to call him out for basketball? That is so unnecessary. So when Joel saw this dude, it was on. After Philly lost to the Grizzlies on Saturday, he started shouting at Hayes. Eyewitnesses claim that Joel said, "The next time you bring up my dead brother and my son again, you're gonna see what I'm gonna do to you, and I'm just gonna have to live with the consequences." So Hayes apologized, and Joel said, "Yeah, well, it's not the first time, and he doesn't care what reporters have to say about him anyway." To which Hayes responded, you clearly do." It's like, dude, shut up. Just let Joel be upset. So Embiid shoved the guy in the shoulder and security immediately broke it up before anything could get worse. Security then asked reporters not to say anything. Yeah, right. And the NBA is investigating, but woo boy. So this columnist was talking about Joel's little brother, Arthur, who was hit by a car and died back in 2014 in Cameroon, where they're from, when he was just 13 years old. Joel then named his son after his deceased brother. And somehow this guy thought it was appropriate to bring all of that up. Well, his employer got so much hate that they took it down, and Hayes said on X, "So I rewrote the lead to my column and replaced the picture. I can see why so many people were upset about it. Sorry about that." Okay, I guess that's an apology. But then a fan posted the email response he got from Hayes. Dude allegedly said, "Actually, I rewrote the lead, changed the picture, and apologized on Twitter. I didn't have a problem with it, but numbskulls like you did, so I mollified you. Are you always this wrong?" Okay, so in my experience, anyone who responds to negative comments like that is a douche. Not to mention someone who uses the words numbskull and mollified. Okay, but why are people this upset about Joel Embiid having an injury? Like, how did it get this far out of hand? Well, everybody thought that he was gonna play, but out of nowhere, the Sixers suddenly announced, oh, he's out to start the year. And not just opening day, but for this foreseeable future. What? I thought Joel Embiid just played in the Olympics and won a gold medal. And to make things even weirder, Philly says he has had no setback. What? How? You play in the Olympics, have months off, have no setback, but you still can't play? So that is why this dude, Marcus Hayes, wrote that Joel must not give a crap, basically, and the NBA investigated. In fact, if you listen to Joel Embiid, he says there's been no setback. The knee is more of a mental thing at this point. He can't trust it. Oh no, do not dare say that an injury is a mental thing, because people will call you soft as a pro athlete, which is what happened. But then the NBA investigation found Joel is legitimately injured, so they fined the Sixers $100,000 for lying about it. The league hates this kind of stuff for two big reasons. One, they've got a terrible reputation now because most casual fans associate the NBA with load management. Stars never play in that league. The regular season obviously doesn't matter. And because of that, ratings are terrible. Awful Announcing says that NBA opening night was down 42% from last year. Suns Clippers, almost half as many viewers. The first TNT game of the year down 29%. And the ESPN opener, just 830,000 viewers. Less than some random college football game on ESPN2. That is horrible. And the other reason that they care about injuries is gambling. The NBA partners now with several gambling companies, and if somebody knew about Joel Embiid's injury beforehand, they could have made a fortune off these sports books. So it's pretty important to have accurate information publicly available and not a secret. So I wouldn't be surprised if the NBA suspends Embiid multiple games for shoving the columnist. Not great if you're Philly, because they're already in trouble this year. None of this would even be an issue if the team won games. They'd be like, it's okay, Joel, take your time, heal up, buddy. But instead, they fall apart without him. Last season, they were 16-27 without their MVP. This season started 1-4 with losses to the terrible Pistons and Raptors. Their offense is ranked 26th out of 30 in the NBA. Net rating is 29th. And not every team is reliant on their star like this. For example, the Sixers coach is Nick Nurse. Yeah, he was the coach of the 2019 champion Raptors. Kawhi Leonard was out constantly, and that team went 17-5 without Kawhi. People forget about that, but not Philly with Embiid. A big part of that is not having Paul George either, but we all saw what happened to him. He hyperextended his knee in the preseason. But this was always the problem, the risk, if you're depending on injury-prone stars. Embiid always seems to have some fluke injury at the worst possible time. He has broken his face multiple times in the playoffs, 2018 and 2022. Dealt with knee issues in 2021, 23, and 24. Somehow got Bell's palsy, paralyzing half his face last year. But one thing you can say is he always plays. So it's kind of weird to call out Embiid for his commitment. He has played every season hurt, even though they never make it past the second round, he's out there. I mean, I could see if he wussed out, but that's not the case. That is why Embiid was so offended by what that guy wrote, in addition to bringing up his family. So it makes sense that the Sixers want to be cautious with Joel Embiid, but it is causing a ton of frustration in Philadelphia, which reminds you of the mess on the LA Clippers right now. Kawhi still has not played all season. Dude has been injured actually even more than Joel Embiid, but now we are finally finding out what's been going on with Kawhi all these years.